All right, I'm still waiting on the LEDs to come, but next we've got the legs. I've already done 3 of them, but the legs that came with the kit were just basic, as you know, or might have watched the other videos. Also, I bought a set of these legs that go in the legs, or the feet go in the legs. You can see how these work here. These little rubber squishies here are just to help grip the floor and prevent scratches as a whole. But I always try to get a matching set of whatever the legs are. These are really easy. You just screw these in, and then on the back, we're just taking the nut and toppling it off there. That's all there is there. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to another step, hopefully. All right, while I'm waiting for the LEDs, I've decided to look at the coin box and just a little inspection here. Got some interesting choices here on what's going on here, but I'll kind of describe what I'm seeing and then what I plan to do. So down here, this I don't think this is a problem. We've got 2 micro switches here. The switches are, actually in the, I'd say the places where they should be. If you've never seen one of these things, there's a micro switch. I've got like a pack of these from another build on an arcade. They give you like hundreds of these. So you buy it once and you're probably good for life. But this little switch here is what does the clicky sound. And what we need here is just, if you're any noob to this adventure here, I mean, I am in some aspects, but I've had some experience around at least the switch here. That switch is what is actually encountered when you push a button down, and that's what registers the keystroke or whatever it is that you're trying to do with the micro switch. That's the whole point of the switch. So, drum roll, please. What we've got here is, I'm just going to do it. So, what we've got here is they have hot glued the micro switch up there, and it's holding the LED, which is cool, right? The LED back there will light the buttons for the front of the cabinet with the the inserts, if you will, right? But what's not cool is, what are we doing with the switch here? So you can see that the whole point that I was just talking to you about, that switch is up here. There's nothing that contacts that. So this switch is literally useless. I can't even describe what this would even be doing, because there is no switch to even activate. So what I did is, you can see I already freed one here. I took the hot glue off, and I'll re-hot glue and apply the LED up at the top there. But what I got to do is either I'm going to free this switch, and I'm going to move it. I think I'm going to move it like right there. So like when you push the coin inserts, you can kind of see it. It pushes that little, brass piece out. Same with this side. What I think I'm going to do, and if the measurements are correct, this, behold, is a light fixture plate. So like if you have a light on the ceiling, and if you uncap it, that's what this thing is. This thing is just there, like underneath the white cap on the light, and you usually take it off and you throw it away. But leave it to me. I keep this for this very moment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this switch. I'm going to just kind of lay it on here so you can kind of see it. It fits. I think it fits absolutely perfect here. So what we're going to do here is you can kind of see that bronze button there on the right. Like when I put this in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it underneath here, and then when you push the button, it's going to like run right into it. And what I got to do is just put this hole.
I mean, the hole lines up perfectly with this, you know, these little micro switch holes. It lines up perfectly with these little guys. And if I do one of those, I think it could hold it in place. But I also might put 2 screws, one on the top and one on the bottom, and I might like pressure hold it up against the panel itself. It's going to be interesting. I think I can do it. Like I could do it on this side and this side. And if I maybe line up that hole with this, I might have to drill a hole on this side. But maybe if I don't know. I've got to think about it. It's entirely possible. I could even do maybe that. I don't know. Well, see, that one's going to be short though. It's almost like it's got to be like that. I'm going to make it happen. Stay tuned. All right, this seems to be successful. So here's the plate that I've got. I flipped it over so you can kind of see that it's upside down now. And one of the holes that were in this scrap metal, the ceiling, you know, plate, if you will, that already had a screw that was 100% the size that is the hole that, you know, I've screwed 2 holes in. There's 2 empty holes there, and they don't provide any functionality. You can see that the hole is just, it's part of the metal there. You can see the screw is actually not even, it's not going into anything. So this is a perfect solution here. What I had to do was take some pliers. It might have even been a wire cutter to start this off, but this was all one sheet of metal here with a small hole here. What I did is I just started filing it away so that this part is going to rest up on this other screw. And, you know, this is going to work because never will this door ever be upside down. So really, what I've done is I've taken, remember these switches, and what I've done is I've taken basically a screw that will fit in there. I had some left over. You might have to go to the hardware store, but basically what I've got to do is I've got to take these little nuts or washers and put them underneath the screw itself. So I need to unscrew these and put these in. I just tested one of these to make sure that this was going to work, and it does. So this is actually pressure fitted here. You can see that the screw's in the switch, and then there's the nut between the screw and the switch. So I just tightened this up, and these little screws are holding the metal piece here, and they're tight enough where it's not going to fall off. But I could unscrew it a little bit and you know, move it side to side if I wanted to. But you can see that little brass knuckle there, and you see the switch there. It's doing it. So yep, so what I'm going to do is, right now, what that means is I've only got one of these you know, inserts here as the coin. What I'm going to do is also put another one here because there's a brass knuckle thing here. I'm going to do the same sort of thing. So that's it. I'm going to get that set up, and then I'm going to see if all this is going to work as well. And after that, I'm just got to plug into these little I'm lost for words here. We just got to plug up some of these cords to the switch when all of this is situated. Still waiting on parts, so this is a good side project. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and get this other one situated and show it off. All right, this thing worked out. Get your MacGyver hat on here. So you can see the little brass knob there on both sides. So this is from the front view, and the coin door isn't 100% secure yet. I've got to tighten, you know, that bolt over there or whatever. But you can see the plate there. You can see the point that we're trying to make here. It's unbelievable that there's a switch up here that does nothing. It's holding that LED. It's baffling to me, but it is what it is. So this seems to be a standard. I've been talking to a guy on Facebook here that bought a cabinet and such before me, and he had the exact same issue. So this is a standard stock build of their coin door. Now, to showcase that the knobs work, I'm going to push the two front buttons individually here. So there's the knob there, and here's the other one. Amazing. So now I'll be able to hook this up to the board once that arrives. You can see how these things are plugged into the switch. Same sort of thing is going to happen to those. I'll just map that to a coin letter 5 or something, and every time that you push one of those ejects, it will trip off a keystroke. So on to the next backtrack here before I actually show the install of the button itself. I put it on the wrong side. So in the video, everything that I'm showing in just a moment is still correct, except for you want these nooks to be on the outside, right? And the button is facing the outside of those knobs. Because like I was saying in the video itself, I just wasn't thinking about it. When you're actually putting this on the panel, of the cabinet itself, these things are facing outward because gravity is holding those those pieces on. Because at least with this cabinet itself, the two panels here are removable. I'm probably going to put like a T bracket or an I bracket to at least secure one more of these. I don't know why I would need two of these panels to be removable, considering all the things that are going to be put in it. I'm going to secure one of these down. I'll probably secure this paneling down that is closest to the front of the cabinet, and then this middle portion will be open, so if I want to stick my head in there like I was working on under a car, I'd be able to do that. One panel is more than enough to do this. All right, so I figured I'd put the button in the bottom panel here. I know that this is the side that is going to hold the the brackets down. We're using gravity, right? So the front side, or when you're on the ground, what you're going to see is this other side of the panel here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to stick the button in here and then screw the other panel in. So you'll see what I mean. There's a nut to every one of these buttons, and it secures this. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this button in to the other side here. See it come through there. And what we got to do is now secure it, right? So you can see that's what the side of the panel is going to look like from underneath. That's going to be powering the PC on. So all we've got to do is connect one of these nuts to the button itself. You got to put this on first before you put the switch on, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But all you got to do is just tighten that. I'm going to go and pause the video and do that, and then get ready for the switch. All right, so now onto the switch. So if you've already seen the coin box nightmare that I had to resolve, you already know that this is a switch, and the button is the switch. That's the whole point of these things. So when you push the buttons on the arcade button, you can see that that thing is just moving the lever up, right? And what you see is we've got to make sure that this is the right direction, so it's actually working, right? And that's going to be facing down. You see these little circles there? We're going to be putting those notches here. And what I typically like to do is start at the bottom here, and then I'm using a little force to move that to connect to the other one. So I'm going to go and select the bottom one to start with, and we're just going to stick that in, which it is there now. So you can see it's there, and then I'm moving this back and I'm gonna put that into that dot there. So not a lot of effort there, and there you go. So it is now situated. So I've got the power button situated. I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna push the button here, and you see the switch is now there. So now all we got to do is just plug the power button up with these little gauges there, and things will be ready to go.